So I want to share with you guys a lesson that I really want to do with the fifth graders. It's English and Social Studies lesson. It's about building relationships in time of need. And it's a pen pal lesson with students who are suffering from the experiences that they had in Japan after the tsunami. I think it's really important, obviously, that we express to our students that when these things happen, or when events happen in people's lives, we need to be there to sort of support them. And so I want to make a strong connection to the students' lives by talking about events and dramatic events that took place over the year in our lives, and then also thinking about the tsunami alerts over the past 2 years here. In order to really develop that connection, I want to talk to the students about what we did. Who we talked to, did we call anyone, did we have to go anywhere, did we have to get anything, and think about addressing the standard of the chronological order of events on what we did. And then I want to think about why we did those things. Why did we gather important stuff? Why did we call important people? Why did we go to someone else's house? And really develop that strong sense of purpose of why we did those things. And then I want to check in and see, how are we? Were we okay? Obviously, recognizing that the tsunami did not come ashore here in Hawaii, we're all right. But let's think about another event, obviously, where the people weren't as fortunate. And this was the experience in Japan. And so I think our students will be able to understand that connection. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to let them know that the standards are that our history impacts the way we feel about things. Events happen in chronological order. We are going to write to show that we understand how the students are feeling in Japan and how what we're writing is going to help solve a problem. We're going to write to our specific audience, and then we're going to use some new vocabulary that relates to this situation. And so we're talking about Japan here. All right, and I think our students, obviously another connection is that the recognition that 25% of the population here in the islands is Japanese origin. And also we could talk about tourism and the responsibility they contribute to our economy, so we need to contribute to them in their time of need. Alright, so our lesson objectives, how I'm going to keep them. We're going to recognize our relationship with Japan. We're going to describe our feelings about the tsunami in Japan. We're going to compare our lives to the students' lives in Japan. We're going to design and illustrate a stamp which connects our lives to the students in Japan, and we're going to practice addressing an envelope for a personal letter. Alright, how are we going to do this? First, after our conversation about what we did, and I get them going and I make that strong connection, we're going to read an article on the tsunami. You can find that, I'm going to use a National Geographic, and it's a kid's National Geographic. And then we're going to define the new terms from our article, and we're going to write a letter, and we're going to include our new greetings and salutations for our audience. And then we're going to design our stamp with some beautiful images of Hawaii and Japan to try to help develop that sense of happiness, or help make people feel better. Alright, so we're going to read our article. I want them to underline and identify the words that we don't know, and then we're going to define those underlined words, and then we're going to file those words. I'm going to make sure that these are our words for the week, and try to use them other places too, just to kind of continue to create that connection. And then I have some procedures for the letter. I'm going to give them a sample format letter, and I'm going to tell them they got to state, their general feelings, and they describe something that's happened or something that they know about with regards to Japan. They're going to compare their own story to the Japanese situation, and then we're going to use our new greetings. And then just to continue to build that stoke, that motivation, we're going to have our stamp designing session tomorrow, and I want to vote to see who likes or we could do a vote to see who likes whose stamp the best, or we'll have a presentation where we can share our stamps with the class. Is probably a better idea. Some challenges I see, there's a lot going on here. I can imagine that there's emotional things that are going to go on. I think some people will have family connections to to Japan. And so just being aware that there's a lot to do in this lesson, how to schedule it, and how to deal with those emotions. And that's my lesson on pen pals for the Japanese tsunami.